Oh, okay, there we go. I figured I'd go live while I was packing. Um, I forget how much the society in the world in general are so far apart and so distant from their natural selves that they don't even know about it. So I'm gonna take it, and on this trip, I'm gonna go out into the wilderness for about a week. Not gonna use my phone, not gonna use my computer or anything like that. I'm just gonna be with nature, be with my dogs, carry food out there. I'm just gonna hang out. When you do that, you ground yourself, you balance yourself out, and your body becomes more in tune with nature and Mother Earth. And a lot of this is old pagan beliefs, and like Christianity and governments have suppressed this because they don't want you to know this, that your body is harmonious, meaning it is, or at least it should be, in harmony with the earth and nature. They don't want you to be like that because then your body will be whole and as it should be. They want to keep you as far away from that as possible. It does not take long for your body to get back in harmony with the world. Unfortunately, most people, that never happens. Even if you live in a rural area, you're not going out and spending that time with nature. If you're just going hiking or just going hunting, it's not really the same. You need to go spend a considerable amount of time, about a week, and you need to be with nature. You need to take in the trees. You need to feel the earth, that kind of hippie stuff. Um, when you do that, you become in tune to Mother Nature and the earth. This does a lot for your body. It does a lot for your mental state, um, and it does a lot for your physical well-being as well. Um, but you got to think people that live in the city and never get out, and aren't really a fan of nature. They never become in tune with their natural selves, so they never experience it. They don't know what it's like. Fortunately, I got into subcultures such as the Rainbow Family, where we went out into nature for months at a time and had no cell phones, had no electricity. You know, we cooked food over an open fire. We built shitters, and when those shitters were full, we filled them up. Um, we built structures from down trees, and we camped underneath them. We lived off of nature for the most part. We did bring in food, 100% organic, and kind of the reason that I strayed away from Rainbow because I felt as though they got stuck and weren't evolving, and I think they should evolve. That's just my own beliefs about that subculture. I got what I could from it, and it wasn't a positive thing to me anymore, so I stepped away from it. I'll probably go to another gathering before I die. Hell, I may die at the gathering. But I took what I could from it and used it. And I took it for what it was, and when it wasn't positive and good for me anymore, then I didn't. That doesn't mean I can't go back in nature. I still go back in nature. Most of my life I have lived surrounded by nature. When I was traveling, even if I had a vehicle, I would go out and I would camp for weeks at a time, you know. And I did have like a TV and some things, and that's okay to have a little bit of technology as long as you're surrounded by nature like that, because it kind of like seeps into you. When you're on concrete, and surrounded by all this city and man-made stuff, it seeps out of you. When you sit on the sidewalk, concrete drains your energy, your essence out of you, and it sucks you dry. And you can feel it. If you pay attention, you can feel it happening. I know that sounds crazy, that's hippie talk, but it's true. A lot of the stuff that is natural to us and what may seem as folklore or paganistic is actually true, but it's been suppressed by the powers that be and people who want to control you. And it's such a vital part of our existence as being humans, being one with nature and earth, that a lot of people, it's just kind of sad that most people will never get to experience the true way of life that a human should be. I'm not going to say that we shouldn't use things to build stuff. But once you start to become unnatural, it has detrimental effects on the body and the earth. Where do you think all these diseases come from? Where do you think cancer and all these ailments came from? And all these problems in the world? They are all man made. They're not natural. Some things are natural, kind of. Can you say that scurvy is natural? Well, if it's a lack of vitamin C, but why was there a lack of vitamin C in the first place? And I'm not going to go down that conversation and that theory, which is pretty freaking trippy. When we started doing things that were unnatural to the way that we should live and the way the earth is, such as flying, such as sailing across oceans, that's not natural to us. We built and used a tool to do something that we're not naturally inclined to do. Can we swim? Absolutely. Can we swim across the ocean? No, we're not supposed to. We don't live in the fashion in the way that we should. When we don't live like that, the whole system of the world and nature gets all screwed up. And then bad things start happening. People want to start killing each other and stuff. They make tools to kill each other. So they make more instruments of war. Then they have wars. But if they would have just kept it natural, all these issues wouldn't rise. A lot of older texts and religions teach this. If you look back in the Torah, which is the basis for Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, Moses said what? Keep it natural. That was God's law. Keep it natural. But what did we do? We didn't keep it natural. We started creating. We took the place of God and started creating our own stuff that we didn't need because of our greed. Now, I'm not going to say I don't love computers and technology because I absolutely do. California, San Francisco in general, is the tech capital of the world. Tell me this: how come when you come into California, there's literally a sign that says the whole state of California is known to cause cancer? Why do you think that is? There's more technology here than anywhere in the world. Hong Kong is pretty big, but San Francisco has a beat. With everything that this technology has, don't you think that maybe it created something that was unnatural and had a negative impact on us? Absolutely. But if we would have kept it natural, these things wouldn't rise. I don't think there's a God. I think there are entities that have done this before, made mistakes, and tried to give us some guidelines. But we don't ever fucking listen to them. Then we start to change those guidelines into our own that is really just made to suit us better. If you know anything about the history of religions, that Judaism came from other people's and other tribes' beliefs. Islam sprang up from, well, there's a whole, which came first, Islam or Judaism. They all came from other tribes who had other, it's all regurgitated. Well, it goes all the way back to Sumeria. But did you know a lot of those stories are intermixed? That even some books of the Bible speak of Gilgamesh. There's no truth that's 100% in any of those texts. They're all watered down or they're all distorted to for men, for the purpose of man, for their purpose, not God's purpose or our ideology of what God is. Which we created God, the notion of God, we created so we would have like an answer for something. If we say God is the creator, that answers a lot of questions for us. It takes that doubt away. Well, there's the answer to that. God created it. But if you didn't have that, what would you think? It's okay to not know where the origin of the universe comes from. Maybe you don't need to know. Maybe that's not how the universe works. Maybe the universe does things to protect itself so it doesn't get hurt. We're part of the universe. But what we do is we keep fucking it up. And I think aliens have a part in this. I think aliens fucked it up. I think they were trying to and may have attained longevity in their life. Maybe not quite immortality, but they were able to make their lifespan a lot longer. I think personally that aliens are what we would call angels and things of that nature in the Bible and other religious texts, such as the Bhagavad Gita. Um, you know, but men use their words and describes it as gods, but it's something that was unknown to us, so we have to got to have an answer for it, right? You have to have a name for it. You got to have an explanation. Why? Why can't you just let things be? When we start trying to control everything and make a reason for everything, it's when we start fucking up. Nature and the universe is not meant to be underneath our control. It's all encompassing. We are a byproduct of it. The universe is not a byproduct of us. And if we can't be one with the universe, we want to be apart from it by creating new and things that are not natural. That's when we fuck up. It's a real easy concept if you think about it. And of course, this is all theoretical, and some of this is my own thoughts on stuff. But a lot of this comes from other stuff. There's shamanism and druidic and a lot of pagan stuff has been suppressed for so long, but it started to make a comeback because people are starting to see how deeply intertwined it is with nature, the real meaning of life, and the meaning of the universe, and how we should coexist with it all. We have not been doing that as a species. Look at animals, how they live. We live absolutely nothing similar. Why? How come all the other inhabitants of the earth live like that, the way they do? But we are the only ones that live apart and different. I'm not saying a chimpanzee may use a tool. Hell, I've seen my dog use tools. I've seen him like use a piece of wood to like knock something over. Simple things like that. But still, you can say that that's using a tool. And a chimpanzee can use something to like eat with, different things of that nature. It's not natural to them. They learn. Where do you think they learned it from? Us. Where do we get that idea to be unnatural? Where did all that come from? I don't know. But there was something that wanted to be unnatural, and it became the downfall. Now, if you want to put that in the context of religion and stories, you can wrap that into a whole lot of different stuff, and you can make a lot of stories from that. But I think that is the basis of what the universe consists of and where we are and why we're here. Because we just didn't stay natural. We tried to be God, which God is a creation of us. If there's something that's omnipotent and all powerful, it would be the universe. But can't say that because that's dogmatic. That's against Islamic, Judaism, and Christianity beliefs. You're changing stuff up. But really, it's not when you look at Hebrew translations, when it talks about being omnipotent and all powerful and all encompassing. It's really describing the universe. But we're making it into a being. We're even giving it a gender and saying he, calling it he. Why did we do that? Why did we call it a he? Why not a she? He, the masculine side of something, has always been about destruction. The female side has always been about creation. We got it backwards as a species. We get everything backwards. And you would think that humans would learn throughout time, but we don't. And that's why history repeats itself. We're not the smartest inhabitants of this planet. We think we are, but we're not. We're the dumbest. All the other animals and species that live on this planet with plants all live in harmony in a certain order. The circle of life, like the Lion King talked about. But we are only ones that go against the grain and do things unnaturally. And what happens? All kinds of bad shit. So that's why I need to go reset. I've been stuck in the city for too long. I got there's no reason for me to go to another doctor's appointment. They're not going to tell me anything. Only thing I need to do to get the medication for the Hep C treatment. If I go to the hospital, they're going to tell me the same shit. Oh, you should probably do dialysis. No, I'm not filtering my blood out. I know my liver's not good, but I'm not going to be hooked up to a machine to do all this shit. I'm just not. Like that. There's no medication I can take to help me. I'm going to die. I don't know when, but I'm going to die one day because of this. It could be sooner. It could be later. When I got a taxi back from getting that accordion, uh, this old lady who was super cool, we started talking it up and whatnot. She also has cirrhosis, which came from Hep C, just like me. She's had it for 20 years. She got interstem cell which is basically taking cells from like a calf, putting them in her stomach, and it helps to regenerate the liver cells. When you have cirrhosis, you don't regenerate, so you can't heal yourself. So your liver just gets worse and worse and worse. And if you have Hep C, then it gradually just keeps destroying itself. So stem cell, if you feel the Hep C, those stem cells, they're making a lot of advancements with this in with liver disease and whatnot. A lot of really awesome advancements. So there's a possibility that I could do some repairs on my body. Um, I don't really know how to go all about that, but it's something I could look into. Um, I don't really care. When it's my time, it's my time. I've always known that I've been given a number of days on this earth. Nothing's going to change that. That's why my nickname, other than Cloudy, is Cloudy the Immortal, because I cannot die until it's my time to die. I've cheated death so many times. I've had people try to kill me and it not worked. I've been in car crashes that could have killed me, and I've walked out without a scrape. I always liked that Bible verse that said, I protect the animals, you know, and from everything, from nature, whatever, and don't harm a single hair on her head. How much more protection do you think I would give you when I loved you more than all creation? Now, I think that's the universe. I don't think that's God. I think that's the universe saying it will protect you because we all have an equal part to play in the universe, but a lot of us don't live our true lives and what we're meant to do to get back right with the universe. And that sounds crazy, but I 100% believe that that's the truth. Why? Because I feel it. Ever since I was a kid, I have sensed this. I'm not going to call it an entity, but it's almost like an aura that's all over. And I can see it. I don't tell everybody this because it sounds crazy. Crazy people don't know they're crazy. I know that this sounds crazy, but I can see this everywhere. It's in everything. And I can't really describe what it looks like because it really doesn't seem like it's in this dimension, but it almost looks like dots, but instead of being like opaque, they're clear. It's weird. And there's millions of them, almost as like particles. And you can feel them. Not feel them like you can't stick your hand out and grab them, but you can tell they're there. When I'm saying feel, I don't mean our normal five senses. I mean like a sixth sense. You ever notice, say you're walking somewhere and you get the feeling that somebody's walking up behind you and you knew who it was? And you're like, oh, I knew you was coming up. How did you know that? What was that? What was that feeling that made you know who that was that was coming up behind you? You didn't see them. You didn't know they were coming. It's energy. You were familiar with that energy, so when it approached you, you knew. Um, a lot of Asian cultures, such as Korean and Japanese and Chinese, you know, they call energy by a different name, ki and chi. It plays into their martial arts. One of my favorite anime, the Dragon Ball. They do the ki blast. All that is manipulated energy. So it's energy of the universe. It's all around us. If you watch Dragon Ball, it gives a pretty good explanation of what it is. It is the universe, and the universe is an energy. I'm not going to say it's a being because it's more than that. It's everything. If that makes sense. Some people will never even think about stuff like that. So their mind will never even get to the level where they start turning the wheels in their heads to start thinking things like that. And to me, that's really sad because their whole existence and their whole life is in the city. I know people that have never left the state of California. I know people that's never left the state of Arkansas. Everything they know is within that state. And people I grew up with are like that. When I go back, I can't really hang out with them too long because we're so different. That's how I grew up. That's how I was at one point in time. I evolved. A lot of people don't evolve. You're never going to transcend to a higher state of enlightenment if you stay in the same place and you do the same thing repeatedly. You're not going to be exposed to different stuff, therefore, you're not going to learn. If you can't learn, you can't grow. And if you can't grow, you're never going to have enlightenment. People can't understand that. Well, I said when I started traveling, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because it changed me in every fiber and every being of who I am. It changed me. It's a domino effect. It didn't happen overnight. It gradually happened, and I learned and grew, and I transcended. And I'm not there yet. But like Hindu beliefs and Buddhist beliefs talk about how you transcend until you transcend consciousness as a human, and you go into like a whole other dimension. And after smoking DMT, some of us may have kind of keyed into it just a little bit what that fifth dimension is like, aka the spirit molecule. And that is one hell of a trip. If you never experienced, you should at least once in your life trip DMT. I believe that drugs, not man-made drugs like meth, but natural drugs. LSD is man-made, it's synthesized, but the ergot isn't. It's natural. There's things on this planet that can be used to alter our consciousness to be able to understand things that we normally wouldn't understand. Now you can abuse that, very commonly abused. Things like ayahuasca, DMT, ergot, was LSD, all that stuff can be used in a manner. Even cocaine has numbing effect. You could use cocaine as medicine, and cocaine has been used as medicine for years. So has heroin and opiates, but it also gets abused. It's synthesized into stronger forms where it's dangerous to our bodies. Keep it natural, respect it. It's not dangerous. It can be dangerous if you don't have the proper respect for it and use it right. Drugs have been one of the most mandated and ostracized and shunned things in human existence. Why is that so? Why do they have such a bad rap? Because it alters your mind and opens you up to things that you normally would not be open to. That can be negative, but it can also be positive if used in the right light and used in the right method. The people that control you, that control the world, do not want that to happen to you. If that happens, they lose control. That's why a person like me is dangerous to the elite. There's not a lot of us. We're by different names. There's indigo child. Some call us hippies. Some call us. There's all different kind of names. But it's just a state of consciousness that you evolve to. You're not going to evolve when you're stuck in the same place. It's not how it works. You can devolve When we're born, we from the day that we are born into a hospital, because most people are born in hospitals, we are being poisoned constantly. The water, the foods, the food. Don't even get me started on the foods, which is why I like Robert Kennedy's idea of getting rid of some of this food that is being sold in stores and pushed into our diet and into our lifestyle, which is killing us and dumbing us down. And everybody's talking, all these people are attacking, oh, don't do that. They're just taking away your freedoms. No, the fuck you're not. You can still go get that stuff. It's just not going to be mass produced and sold in stores and advertised. Eat this, be obese, get diabetes. We don't need that stuff crammed down our throat. If you want to make it and go eat it yourself, do that. But it should be crammed down our throats. Everything that I know now, if I lived my life differently, started over, but knew everything, let's say I raised a family, I would be so apart from society, even more so than the Amish. The Amish, they're pretty damn smart, man. How they stay apart from society so much. You know who's even smarter? The Aboriginal tribes that won't, that, like that one island, like the guy went to visit and they just killed him. Sure, they get diseases. There's naturally occurring diseases. But they've been living on that island for who knows how long. And they'll probably continue to live on that island when we're all dead and gone by our own deeds and our own creations. It's coming. It's a great reset. It's going to happen in our lifetime. It's going to happen within my lifetime. How do I know that? I just fucking do, man. I've always known it. My whole life I've known it. This is why I talk to the dead. Oh my God, did I just say that? Yes, I talk to the dead. It's not random dead people, it's people in my life that I've had previous conversations that we've made pacts with. If one of us dies first, reach out to the other person. I also believe that Berkeley and Hindu people believe that reincarnation works both ways. You can transcend, but if you live a shitty life, you can also descend. So your spirit, your essence, which is actually you, can go into a lower life form, such as a dog. I honestly believe that my dog Berkeley was somebody that I knew in life, whether it was my best friend Nico who died, my dad, my brother, you know, grandma. It was somebody who deeply cared about me and was put back on earth to help me learn and to grow. And that dog did. That dog changed my life. It helped me grow so much as a person. Taught me to care for somebody other than myself, which was one of the greatest lessons I ever learned. Is to care for somebody other than myself. I never realized how selfish I was until I had that dog. And I had to put somebody or something first in front of myself. It was a hard lesson to learn. I didn't want to learn it. Stubborn. And I was greedy. My dog taught me a lot about life. She helped me grow. I'll always, she will always have such a special place in my heart. And so does Jinx, and so does Rose. Dogs have always been important to me. They're part of who I am. But it's ironic. I believe that everything happens for a reason. And people and animals can be placed in your life for a specific reason or cause. And it's the way the universe works. See what I'm saying? Because the universe works in harmony with yourself if you let it. But most people don't. Until those people can get to where And I still have a ways to go. I still have room to grow, and I still have room to transcend and enlightenment to come to. I'm not the Buddha, but I'm not where I was 10 years ago, not where I was 20 years ago. Some people just get stuck, and then when they die, they just get reincarnated back into another body. It's the same shit. But I don't know if any of that's true. Maybe there is a God, and he's a Christian God. That's how it is. And I'm going to hell. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Because if there's a God out there that condemns me for not knowing, then I don't like that motherfucker. So that's another reason that I don't believe that that's true. Because if he condemns me to hell for not believing in him, when it's all kind of sketchy, I I wouldn't worship something like that. You know, and lean not to my understanding, but what else do I have is my understanding. I am like doubting Thomas. I've always said that. Life is weird, but if you look at it closely, you'll see patterns. It's not as weird as you think. Ain't that right, Rose? Now, I know my neighbors think I'm crazy. They hear me over here talking to myself all the time. They don't realize that I have a YouTube with tons of content on it with me talking about shit like this. One of the reasons I like technology is because this is a book. This is a testimony and I'm kind of like a scribe telling my beliefs or my teachings or things that I have learned. I'm just using technology to relay that. You know, scientists believe that we can store data in quartz, and we do in computers. Stop it. I'm getting a water bottle for you right now. I'm so tired of that crap. She's biting me so hard that it's drawing blood. And it's not teething biting, it's aggression biting. Most people don't know the difference between when a dog's teething and when a dog's biting out of aggression because they don't get their way. Not let a dog do that, because if you do, they get older and bigger and bite people. We do not allow bite mass dogs. I'll do it. Do what? But you can't let them do that. Also, you can't hit a dog because that only teaches fear aggression. When I had Berkeley, I wasn't. I didn't start off as the best dad dog. I'd slap her on the butt. Sometimes I'd hit her, and I thought that was the only way to get through to her, but it wasn't. I didn't know what to do, but she taught me. She had a lot of patience with me, so I stopped doing that, and I learned proper methods on how to train dogs to do things. Um, so when I got Jinx, I treated Jinx differently. Now there are a couple times when I've slapped Jinx on the butt in Berkeley and hurt, because pain can be a teaching thing. Only time I do that is if they get in a busy road. The reason I do that, they need to know that that causes pain. Now, that's not beating your dog. That's showing them pain that that hurt them. It's kind of like a child. It sees a stove. It's got a red hot top. Kid goes up, puts his hand on the stove, it burns him. The kid knows not to do it again. But if you would have shown that kid that it can burn his hand first and to not touch it, then the kid will learn that way. That's what I'm doing. But if you're hitting your dog with your fist, there's no reason to ever do that. that will make the dog have fear aggression to your hands and to movements. I can walk up to Rose and I pull my fist up like that, and she won't flinch because she doesn't know what punching is. She doesn't know what attacking is. Jinx is different. Not that I hit her, but she's been around fights and stuff. She knows when people punch other people that it hurts. She's been punched by people, not me. I wasn't trimmed, riding freight trains and living a pretty crazy lifestyle. So my dogs have been in fights with me. Um, Not this little demon, though. She doesn't even know what none of that is. Huh. You just like to try to eat me and bite me to pieces because you think it's fun in a game, and it's not. We're not going to allow that because you're not a biter. And if your teeth hurt, you chew on one of those nylon things that I got you. You don't bite me. No, elbow drop you. See? Who is? She don't know what the fucking doing. She just thinks I'm playing. You ever want to know if somebody hits their dog? Walk up to him and pull your fist back. That dog flinches or is reactive to that person or somebody that's hit that dog before. That's how you tell. Now, there's also rescues. Berkeley was treated like shit before I got her. That's why she had a lot of behavior problems. Um, Berkeley would bite people. She would bite other dogs. She would kill other dogs. She killed a couple of pit bulls. They were telling how many coyotes. So did Jinx. But they were also guardian dogs. They were also raised as guardian dogs for farm. So they were doing the job. You gotta protect the livestock. Except for chickens. Neither one of them like chickens. Sneak off and just kill one chicken every once in a while. Not all of them. Sneak off and kill one. Bastards. What? You need to run back and forth. Why do you run? Oh yeah. We're gonna go here in a minute. We're gonna get to run. I gotta make sure you gotta stop. Where do you mean? I don't care. That shit hurts, you little punk. Where does that thing go? Alright. Grains. I'm gonna take some organic old oats. I'm gonna take some salmon jerky for the pups. I'm gonna take some short grain brown rice. Obviously like a pound. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of noodles and some spices. And that's all. Maybe 7-8 pounds of dry food. Not the best food, but I do have some superfoods I can add to it. Give it a little bit more nutritional value. I don't need nothing special. It's just food I'm eating while I'm out in the woods. The main part is just getting out in the woods, nature, and letting this little monkey be in nature too. She's never been to the woods. I sure is. Mac and cheese. Well, that's me for it. I know it. How about chicken of the city? A little chili mac or something. Green tart. I don't carry cans. I don't carry cans of food on backpack. Anytime I see some, oh, we're going camping, let's carry a bunch of cans of food. No, you moron. You don't carry cans of food. This is dead weight. I will also show you something that is it's not a drug, but it has some of the best anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties that you can get that can heal your body. It's turmeric. I've got turmeric capsules that I eat. I try to eat like 4 or 5 of them a week. Keeps infections away from my body. Clears up my face. Does wonders for your digestive system and things like that in your stomach. Hey, I understand, okay? But you do not have to be so high strung. I understand you got a lot of energy you got to get out. But you need to have mental activities as well as just run, run, run. You need to stimulate your mind and your body. Do you comprehend that? Your vocal. Let's use that vocal to speak properly and learn words. How about it? Shut down. I'm gonna go drink more water from the pee everywhere. Oh, did you get my other channel? Is not freaking what you call it. Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You cannot have my Cinnamon Toast Crunch for a coffee. And Dr. Bronner's is all natural soap. Just don't do anything you just don't do what we should do as a species. And it's our own damn fault. We're destroying ourselves and the world with our own hands. Quite sad. And most people don't know and don't care. Anyway, I'm putting overdrive. I'm trying to just burn a little bit of time. I also want to play StarCraft, a couple games for all you. I don't want to leave too early. We head out around 11 or so. It's 9 o'clock now. And I'm letting everything charge up. And I'm going to move this table over so I can have a 70-inch TV and a 55-inch TV side by side connected to my computer. Because I'm a nerd. Anyway, there's 47 minutes of all my wisdom for you. Send me money. Not that I need it. I just like to spend it because it helps me acquire things. Tools that are unnatural. A little bit of unnatural is okay, but we get carried away with it and we make too much. So, anyway, see you later. This thing.